Hey guys, it's Julie. I'm back again. I told you it was recipe day. Today I'm going to give you a recipe that I have used twice and I really like. It's a little strange. It's from one of my new herbs, the bladderwrack and the kelp. It is a seaweed conditioner. Seaweed is loaded with so many minerals, so many things that is so good for your hair. One of the disclaimers for that though, because it doesn't smell fishy, but it does kind of smell like the ocean. So if those type of smells kind of bother you, this may not be the recipe for you. Also, if you have any type of thyroid issues, because it is a high iodine content, you may want to look that up. But we're going to get started, and of course I'll list all the properties for it. At least I'll try to remember. Sometimes I forget that. But we're going to pan down and we're going to get started. I got my big bowl here. Got my strainer. The recipe calls for a tablespoon of kelp. And this is the kelp. Let me show it to you because I want you to make sure that you see everything. Kelp is kind of like a little granular. I've already put boiling water in both of these to extract the mucillage from it. It gets kind of thick. Put a little bit of water in there and we'll drain that out. That's almost like a porridge actually. See that? See how the mucillage is kind of thick? The water thickens up a bit. And that's murder to filter, but that's okay. Just kind of work at it. Also let me sit this down. The bladderwrack. We've seen that in a previous video. It's black when you get it up from the, well, actually after they dry, it kind of turns a greenish color. It has a little bit of mucilage in it, but mainly I'm doing it for the vitamins. This increases the elasticity of your hair, increases the shine, conditions your hair really well, helps with growth, and lots of iodine, like I said. So if you have those type issues, this may not be a conditioner that you would want to use. Me and my homemade concoctions, they have worked absolutely fabulous for my hair and also for my family. So as long as it's working for me, I'm going to keep working at it. I think we got about most of that out. I think you can kind of see how that bladderwrack and the kelp kind of thickens up a bit. This is good for thickening some of your recipes too. You'll have to put an essential oil if you don't like the smell of things like that, but you know, to each his own. I'll strain the rest of that in a bit. So we have, let's see here, maybe an ounce. Is that maybe an ounce? Maybe an ounce, I would say, or 2 ounces of that. We're going to put honey in the recipe. We're going to put a teaspoon of that. Remember, don't double dip. That's kind of a big teaspoon, but that's all right. We're going to put the teaspoon of honey. Set that to the side. And this is the infused peppermint oil. It's time for me to actually drain this, but I didn't have time today, so we'll just dip out of it. We're going to use see how pretty and green that is? That's kind of like a teaspoon, almost a teaspoon. We're going to go ahead and put the peppermint oil in there. Set that to the side. We're going to use avocado oil, and we're going to do a teaspoon of that. Use this little teaspoon. Well, maybe a teaspoon and a half. We didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt a thing. Now, the eucalyptus oil, really strong, kind of almost overpowering at times. But I am doing this conditioner for my hair lately because I want the seaweed, the elasticity, actually when that comb pops through it, it pops back, so I kind of like that. But I'm doing the eucalyptus mainly because I want to make sure give my scalp a nice good stimulant. We're going to put maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of that. You don't want to use too much eucalyptus. Like I said, it is kind of rough at times, so you have to be really careful. And a 1/4 cup of aloe vera gel. And we're going to whip this with our immersion blender because we have the mucilage and the oil and also the nice moisturizing properties from the aloe vera. You can kind of see that that's already kind of thick. As the seaweeds or the kelp and bladderwrack sit, they're going to thicken a little bit more anyway. Let me make sure I don't have any of the good properties left because I don't want to waste any of it. But we're going to go and get our immersion blender and we're going to mix this up, and I'm going to come back in a minute and show you what we have. So I'll be back in just a minute. Pause. Okay guys, I'm back. We have whipped up all of our things. We whipped up the bladderwrack and the kelp and the honey and the peppermint oil and the avocado oil and the eucalyptus oil to make our homemade seaweed conditioner. And like I said, I have used this twice. Does it ever smooth and condition the hair? I think you're going to really like it. After we whipped it up, got a little bit more creamy. Let's see here. Let me find a spoon. Let's see here. Kind of creamy, but still kind of liquidy. What I normally do with this is put it in one of my squirt bottles. See, it still has kind of a creamy consistency. That's not bad for a homemade conditioner. It's the mucillage, the really high mucillage that is in the seaweeds that gives it that creaminess. And we'll put this in the refrigerator for later use. I'm not going to use this today. Works well on the hair. I normally put it in my squirt bottle and comb it through the hair and put it in twists and usually leave it in for several hours and then rinse it out and you're good to go. As far as the smell goes, maybe a little bit of the seaweed, maybe just a hint, but the eucalyptus and the peppermint kind of disguises that a bit. Just rinse the hair real well. Afterwards, I am usually doing one of my, either the lecithin mayonnaise, I'll do that, or I'll do the shave whip that I do, or coconut, and do my twist and I'm out the door. But all organic, no chemicals, no preservatives except the things that we put in there, and it actually came out of your kitchen. So seaweed conditioner, ladies, don't go to sleep on this one. So let me know if you like it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.